Welcome back everybody, welcome back to World of Tanks. How's going? What I have for you today is another World of Tanks news episode, and in today's episode I am going to talk about Japanese heavy tanks that are going to be in the game soon, in the future. I can't say when, because I don't know, I believe they don't know as well. But I'm here to provide you some information that maybe you didn't know. And a lot of you have been asking to hear more about Japanese heavy tanks, especially after I made that Japanese Tiger Premium Tank review, heavy tank number 6. But in this episode, while you are enjoying this amazing gameplay on the background, I am going to talk about Japanese heavy tanks. So let's get going. And guys, please keep in mind all those tanks are still under construction, so anything can change. Any stat over here still can change, but we're here to take our first look at them, so let's get going. For the start, I can say that they are pretty ridiculously looking tanks, like ugly as hell, but if it gets job done, then it doesn't matter how one tank looks, right? First Japanese heavy branch tank is going to be Type 89, which is tier 2 medium tank, also known as ICO, Apple product I believe. So this is actually one of the best looking tanks in the Japanese branch. So you know what is going to be ahead of us, just a little warning to you. It looks a lot like USSR tier 1 MS1 tank, so not bad. Stats over here, but for tier 2, for tier 3 and for tier 4 as well, maybe stats and all that doesn't matter, because usually it is going to take you like 5 games, 6 games, 7 games to get from tier 1 to tier 4 or tier 3. So this is new tier 2 medium tank Type 89 for you everybody. Moving on to the tier 3 Type 91, we can see that no stats by the way available right now, but all we have over here is the picture. That looks a lot like upgraded M3 Lee. Hull is pretty much the same, but with a rotating turret on the top of the tank. So a little bit upgraded M3 Lee. This is what we needed, guys. We needed another M3 Lee in the game. But moving on to the tier 4, we can find Type 95, Japanese tier 4 heavy tank. Type 95 was built upon the Type 91, upon the tier 3 heavy tank, and yeah, we can see that hull is pretty much the same, few differences here and there, but whole profile is pretty much the same. Now one thing that I found out from the stats is gun, 70mm gun, penetration is 70. Like, is that top gun or what? Because that penetration for tier 4 tank is pretty sad. Now that said, TPM however is pretty amazing, 1900, 1941 damage per minute. And the fact that 70 penetration is going to be enough versus pretty much every single tier 4 and tier 3 tank that you are going to face. But versus tier 5, yeah, you are in trouble, but TPM is going to help you out, hopefully. And gold ammunition, because we all like to use gold ammunition. Moving on to the tier 5, we can see that someone stole Talk 2's turret. Just try to tell me that this turret is not from Talk 2. And entire tank looks like Talk 2 that has been cut in half. Gun 12cm, damage 300, penetration 130, TPM 1955, so pretty amazing once again. Engine 1200 horsepower and weight over 100 tons. So this is, guys, what I was talking about, huge and ugly tanks. And the fun fact is, this is fast Talk 2. Top speed up to 40, reverse speed up to 12 km/h, so it is amazing how this huge pile of steel is going to be able to move. And you're going to see the comparison after the next tank, after tier 6 tank, which is a Mito 150 Japanese tier 6 heavy tank. From now on, in tier 6, you're going to be able to get one tank that has 1200 horsepower, that has to carry 150 tons of weight. What the hell is going on, guys? Top speed close to 30 km per hour, reverse speed up to 10 km per hour, with a hull reverse speed of 26 degrees per second, which is actually pretty good. If you're going to compare this traverse speed to KV that gets 20 degrees per second hull traverse speed, this is pretty good for 150 ton tank. Not bad. Gun is most likely going to be a 120mm gun, question mark. Once again, guys, keep in mind all those stats still can change. Everything over here still can change, and most likely something is going to change on every single tank. But for now, 120mm gun, 300 average damage, 175 average penetration, DPM 1754. For tier 6 heavy tank, it is not bad at all. So here are the comparison pictures. Tier 5 and tier 6 Japanese heavy tank compared to the mouse. Mito 100 is tier 5 heavy tank and Mito 150 is tier 6 heavy tank. Is this ridiculous or what? Oh boy, I feel that those two new tanks are going to be epic targets for artillery, so you better watch out. Upgraded Torque 2s. You better watch out and find some artist shadow. And moving on to the tier 7, we can find OI 100, Japanese tier 7 heavy tank. 1550 hit points, engine power 1200 horsepower, so they're all going to get exactly the same engine starting from tier 5. Over here 100 tons of weight, and this thing actually seems to be pretty slow. Top speed 25 km per hour with hull traverse speed of 20 degrees per second, which makes it as fast as KV1 in tier 5, and we know everything about KV1. Gun stats, you are going to be able to get 190 average penetration with 330 average damage. And DPM 1900, close to the same DPM with IS, for example. Hull armor is going to be 175mm thick, but from the standard picture we can see a lot of potential weak spots like second turrets or some hatches, but on the armor picture we can actually see that those turrets come with exactly the same armor. So 175mm of armor in tier 7 is pretty amazing. With some slope, 200 plus penetration is needed for sure. And actually tier 6 tank gets pretty decent armor as well for tier 6, 150mm. If you didn't see that, because I didn't talk about that. But just take a look at the size of OI 100 compared to the other tier 7 heavies, D29, IS and Tiger 1. Oh boy. From tier 8 we can find heavy tank OI 120 because the weight is 121 tons. Engine power, once again the same, hit points 1700, maximum speed 25, hull traverse speed even worse, 19 degrees per second, but it doesn't matter because frontal armor 200mm thick. Turret armor exactly 200mm thick as well in front of the tank and on the sides. And the gun seems to be exactly the same as on tier 7 heavy tank, with exactly the same stats. But over here it seems like you are going to be able to get 15cm derp gun as well, with penetration values of 121, 150 and 75, and damage values 700, 700 and 910. So it is going to be standard 15cm derp gun. But moving on to the tier 9 Japanese heavy tank, we can find type 2604 or 2604. Hit points 2050, engine power 1200 horsepower, surprise surprise, 160 tons, 20 top speed, 10 reverse speed, as always, traverse speed 22 degrees per second. So top speed is 20, seems like I am not going to enjoy this heavy tank, I don't like slow tanks, and 20 for heavy tank is pretty slow for me. But why this is slow is 160 tons, so that means we are going to have pretty epic armor. And yes, hull armor 250, frontal armor 140 on the sides, no information about rear armor. turret 250 and 200. So yeah, this is going to be pretty amazing. And gun as well, 140mm type 3 gun. Average damage are going to be 600, 600 and 770 with HE shell penetrations 249, 282 and 70. TPM close to 2000. And I have to say that I am pretty impressed with the gun stats. I could work with that, if I'm honest with you. But now, the flagship of Japanese heavy tanks, Type 5 Heavy, Japanese tier 10 heavy tank. Hit points 2800, more than E100 gets. Engine power 1200 horsepower, weight 150 tons. 25 top speed, 10 reverse speed, hull reverse speed 22, which is actually not bad for that kind of weight and that kind of size. View range 400, hull armor 260, on the sides 140, turret armor 260 and on the sides 210. And gun is going to be exactly the same, with 249 pen and 600 damage. But TPM is going to be 2346, so a little bit faster reloading time and a little bit better accuracy. All around I would say it is going to be pretty amazing heavy tank. You can see that we have no lower plate action over here, you can see that from the pictures. So no epic weak spots in the front, besides commander heads, I guess. But you can see that commander heads actually has red armor value, so it is going to be hard to penetrate this thing in front. Really interested to see how this tank is going to be able to perform on the battlefield. So, these are all the Japanese heavy tanks that are going to be in the game in the future. Maybe with patch 9.10, I don't know yet. But we definitely have something to wait for, and really interested to get that tier 10 tank to see how this performs, how this fits into today's meta game. So there you go. And before I go, I have to say huge thanks to What Leaks, What News and Rita Status Blog for providing me that kind of information. Keep up the good work. From me, that is it. I hope it was informative. I hope to see you in here next time as well. Take care guys and bye.